Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle, just in case you didn't know, now you do know. And today is going to be a one-take video because I was dumb and didn't pre-film this, so I need to edit it and get it up tonight. It's currently my 5:48 and I need to have this up by like 8 p.m. so there shall be no editing. I apologize now if there's any dead spaces, but we're just gonna try and keep this moving along while we can. So we're doing Q&A. You guys asked me questions. I didn't get too many, and there are some that I'm going to leave out simply because they're on topics that I don't allow to be on my channel anymore. So if your question wasn't answered, you know what happened, okay? Let's get into it. Would you open your own boutique? From Jen. Thanks, Jen. I would, but only if someone else was running it and managing it and like I was just the owner, and it was like my concept. I really like making things, and I think owning a boutique would not give me the time to do that. So the only way I would be doing that is if I was doing sort of like the buying and like the behind the scenes stuff, and someone else was sort of like manning the store, you know? Okay, so someone asked McDonald's or Burger King, and it's gonna be McDonald's, mostly because we only have one Burger King in the city, and it's really far downtown, like in the hub, if you know what that is, and it's really hard to like get through the drive-thru, and I don't even know how to get into the restaurant, so I never go there. And anytime they've opened a Burger King outside of that particular location, which has been there for a long time, it closes within like a year. So apparently Kingston can only handle one Burger King at a time, and I very rarely get Burger King, but I'm not gonna lie, their matzo sticks are pretty good. So yeah, but McDonald's. Have you guys tried the BTS meal? I don't even like really know BTS in any way. I'm not gonna say it like I like them or don't like them, but I want to try the new dips. I don't like this sweet and spicy one, but I really like the Cajun one. I know that's kind of controversial, so anyway. Travel plans after lockdown. I would love to go on like a cross-country car camping road trip, but I also need to be here to work my weekend job, which pays like half of my bills, or more sometimes, depending on how much I'm working. So I don't know. I'd love to hit up a tiny house in my area for a couple of nights, but right now, like, close by accommodations are really expensive. I was looking on Airbnb, and like anything that's completely self-contained where you don't have to be around other people is very expensive, as we're about to come out of lockdown, and in phase 1 of Ontario's reopening, I'm pretty sure we're allowed to travel within the province, or within our area, and really my only travel plans as of right now are like to get on the ferry, go to Picton, and go to the Vic Drive-In and get some tater tot poutine, and then drive home the same day, because it's like an hour from me. Okay. Someone literally just put feet, and no. Since summer is here, what was your favorite vacation so far? Any plans for future or dream vacations? I don't really take vacations, but I've been on a few trips. Like, I've been to New York City twice. Both of those times I love them. The one time I went with my mom, and it was much more of like a traditional experience where we did a lot of tourist stuff, and we like went on the double-decker bus thing and like the hop on hop off, went to a lot of museums. We stayed in a like traditional hotel. Then I went with my sister, and we stayed at a YMCA hostel, which was an interesting experience. We literally tried to go for spend as little money as possible. and we were pretty successful actually. We drove from Kingston across the border to Syracuse, parked there, and left. We were there like 5 days, I think, and parking was so cheap to park at Syracuse. Then we flew in to, I can't remember if it was JFK or LaGuardia. We were too scared to fly into the one in New Jersey because everybody said it was horrible. And like it cost more to get a cab to our hostel than it did to park in Syracuse for a week. So yeah, we did a pretty good job. Had some fun. We stayed in Queens, in fact in Flushing, Queens, and we stayed at like the YMCA hostel there, and there was like a Macy's nearby, and we basically just stuck to the area. It really solidified our love of like Asian stationery. And really, that was like my experience of like whole stores dedicated to Asian stationery and cute stationery, and I bought a lot of it. So yeah, anyway, I've also been to Switzerland once when I was like 13, and I'd love to go back, but that's like most of my vacations have been camping. So anyway, what size do brands need to go up to in order to say they're inclusive? I saw one going up to 34 criticized. I think it's really all in how you are marketing it. If you want to say you are size inclusive, then you need to either offer custom sizing, or you need to just say like, you know, instead just say like your size range, like you go small to 34, like that's like 0 to 34. Like you need to say that. Like Universal Standard doesn't say size inclusive. They don't say that. Other people say that, but they say they go 00 to 40, and they've made their own sizes. So like I don't even size out of Universal Standard. It is expensive though, so you kind of have to like save up for the stuff, but at least it's expensive to my budget. So you know, it's, if you want to say that you're for everybody, and you want to use that term, then you need to offer custom sizing and be willing to make as big or small of a garment as possible, and you need to be willing to accommodate literally any person. Otherwise you're just using buzzwords, and that's not cool. I don't think, now if a mainstream brand like Torrid, or I know Lane Bryant recently expanded their sizes in up to size 40, I think it was. Like that is great because it's very accessible to the everyday person. I mean, Lane Bryant is, I've never really enjoyed their clothes. I have shopped there in the past when we've like done cross-border shopping days, but it's never been something that was like I gravitated towards, except because it was like the only thing, you know, it was a store that fit, right? So if you are a store in a mall and you want to be size inclusive, I would say like size 40, definitely, and like a real size 40 where like an actual fat person can wear it, not just like, we're gonna call it size 40, but really it fits like a 3XL, you know? What's your opinion on family vloggers? Oh, I don't hate them, I don't love them, sort of in between, and also I think it's hard because like I feel like the child needs to give consent to be on camera, and like if they're on camera from birth, pretty much like literally you're filming them being born, they can't give that consent. And I think there needs to come a point when the child gets old enough to properly understand consent, and then ask and say like, do you still want to do this? Do you want to be on vlogs and things like that? And then you can just avoid filming them or not show their face. I also think it's a security problem if they get very popular. I used to watch a lot of family vloggers, and to be honest, I don't watch any now. A lot of people are very security conscious, like being public. I live in a small city and even I get recognized places. I couldn't imagine being scared that like if I put my kid's face on screen that they could get kidnapped, you know? I know Casey Neistat says like he doesn't show his kids' faces, like the younger ones, the ones that are underage. He doesn't show their faces because he doesn't want, they had a scare and like he doesn't want there to be a safety issue. I totally understand that, and but it's a lot, like I feel like the kids should be treated like child actors, you know, like can only work a certain amount each day, half of the income that they would be earning needs to be set aside for education, like all of these things. If they're earning an income in the entertainment industry, which is, YouTube is entertainment, then I feel like they should have to follow the child actor, child model rules. Okay, what is your favorite book to movie adaptation? I don't really know. I would say maybe like The Hunger Games, but it's not, that's not even something that I watch anymore. Like, I read The Hunger Games after I'd started watching the movies, and I liked the books better, mostly just because I could imagine it in my mind, and there was a lot more detail. But that's kind of the normal thing with books, you know? I don't watch a lot of adaptations, especially because, like, I think I would rather read the book. There's a ton of, like, Hallmark movies that are adaptations from romance novels, and it's like a whole series they do, and you're like, and sometimes I accidentally start watching one and I'm like, this feels like a book I've read before, or like the plot line to a romance novel, you know? And then you're like, oh yeah, that's because it is, you know? And I don't know, I don't really watch a lot of movies, and I don't necessarily read the book first before I go and watch the movie, because I don't like the feeling of comparing them back and forth, because it's all I did when I did watch The Hunger Games and read The Hunger Games. And like, I'm just gonna say, I read all of the Hunger Games books in under 2 weeks, like together, total. I had them all done because they were all out, and it was a lot, so, you know. Anyway, this is one I'm not really sure that I want to answer, but I'm going to answer it anyway. Why do you struggle so badly with taking any kind of criticism? And immediately when I read this, I felt like my back was up against a wall, because that's how it feels when someone criticizes me living my life, or me making decisions for myself, me defending myself for just living my life. I get called defensive quite a lot because I am not afraid to stand up for myself, and I think that's the problem, is that people don't see me standing up for myself as a good thing, because I am deemed to be unacceptable in the world because I'm fat. And not just fat, I'm like really fat, right? So if I were a good fat where I was always trying to lose weight, or I'm always like exercising, or I'm trying to be smaller, or I'm, you know, a very healthy fat person, like I don't owe my health to anybody. I don't owe proving that I'm good to anyone. So I struggle so badly with taking criticism, mostly because I've been criticized my entire life, like, and not just people calling me fat, right? Like, I grew up in a household where my dad was verbally abusive, and it's why I don't speak to him anymore. He's very, I would probably diagnose him, even though I'm not a doctor, as narcissistic, because he never ever saw that he was hurting us or hurting me. There was a time when he wasn't like this, and it was, you know, it's a time I still remember, and so that's what's so hard is, like, I don't have a relationship with him anymore because of his behavior, and the problem is that he doesn't understand that that's why. So, like, for example, I was really good in school, like, at least, like, in younger years. I stopped caring, like, you know, when I got in high school, and I, like, barely passed grade 12. One second, I need a Kleenex. Okay, where was I? So, I was very good in school, and there came a time where basically I was getting bullied a lot at school, and he would say to me things like, if I got like 99%, he'd be like, "Where's the other 1%, Danielle? Like, why didn't you get perfect? I expect this to be perfect." And he, like, when he couldn't work anymore because he became disabled, he took that out on us. And while he was never physically abusive, he was definitely mentally abusive, verbally abusive, and refused to do anything about it. So on top of being bullied basically since the moment I hit puberty, I had it coming from him too. And I mean, I've also been put on a diet since I was probably 10 years old and started getting a little chunky. So I don't take kindly to people butting into my business and critiquing something when I don't ask for their criticism. If I specifically say, "Hey, I'd love to get your feedback on this," then I'm expecting actually useful feedback. Instead, what I get sometimes when I say, "Hey, I'd love to know what kind of videos you guys would like," and I've openly said, I'm not making 1 in a day videos anymore. I'm not. They attract the wrong type of crowd, right? The type of people I don't want to hang out with. And if I don't want to hang out with them in real life, then I don't want them to hang out on my channel, right? So I've said that, right? And people still, like, say, "I want a what I eat in a day video. I want a vlog." And I'm like, I give you guys vlogs. Nobody watches them. But you want a vlog? Okay, I'll give you a vlog. And then, like, the problem is like, people are asking for something that I'm not willing to do. And when I stand up for myself, this is like a whole rant, and I'm making no sense. When I stand up for myself and say, like, I'm not making that content anymore because it makes me feel bad the way people respond, people don't say, "Oh, I understand that." What they say is, "Well, maybe if you changed your whole life, lost like 300 pounds, and became an acceptable member of society, you wouldn't have that problem anymore." And they don't see it as a problem on their end, that they think there's something wrong with me, but more as a problem that I have to deal with, and that it's my job to solve. I'm one person, and like, that's not gonna happen. I'm not manipulating my entire life to make my body more socially acceptable. So it's not happening. I'm gonna stay the way I am, and that's fine. If you don't like it, you're more than welcome to leave. And one of the questions I got in here was about Amberlynn Reid. Okay, first off, I hate being compared to her. I hate it. I watched one video and I immediately did not like the vibe I got from her channel, and how it felt like she needed to be on a diet all the time. I don't know, maybe for her health she's doing something, but like, or doctor's orders or something like that, but I got bad vibes, okay? And I haven't watched her channel since, and I literally only went because everybody was like, you're Amberlynn Reid. I'm like, I don't look anything like her. I don't act anything like her. I stand up for myself. I've never once been attempting to be on a diet on this goddamn channel. So, we are not remotely the same. And I quite literally delete every comment that has Amberlynn Reid or ARL in the comment. I don't care what it says. If you've mentioned her, I don't want anything to do with her. I don't want to be compared, and that is totally my prerogative, because I don't want to be compared to someone who gives me bad vibes. So, yeah, and my bad vibe meter has not led me wrong in the past. Okay. This person submitted this directly via the response-y thing, not through the box, so I have to find it. Do you come up with all your own ideas, or do you follow a script? These are kind of like two different questions. More like, do I copy from somebody else? That's probably not how it was meant. Do I copy someone else's video directly, or do I like come up with all my own ideas? And then do I make a script? Sometimes I make a script. Depends on, like, it's mostly just notes. I did an ad with Well Simple this week. Side note, if you're watching this before June or on or before June 6th, I'll leave the link in my description. And if you're living in Kingston, like my area, you can get an extra $50 bonus to sign up for Well Simple Cash. Not sponsored anymore. They already paid me. So, that deal is done. But I'll leave the description. You can sign up. It's like Venmo for Canada. So, yeah. Anyway. And even if it's past the 6th, you can still get a referral bonus, and then I get money too, which is kind of a great way if you're already going to sign up for it to support me, because like you don't have to give your own money, they're giving it to me instead. Anyway, so sometimes I write a script, and for that I wrote a script and I followed it pretty much bang on, because I needed to get exactly those words into a 30-second video. And that was really hard for me. I'm really bad at following scripts, but I took a public speaking course like a year and a half ago now, and that really helped. So I was able to do that, and to be honest, my public speaking coach noticed and was like, you did really good. So I'm pretty happy about that. Do I come up with my own ideas? I do look a bit at like YouTube trends. If I'm seeing a lot of different types of videos or something like that, then I will like try and make a similar video, because it helps with search. But for the most part, the idea is all my own. I'm not copying anything directly, and it's hard because I feel like I'm an outlier sometimes on YouTube, where I don't fit in with like a beauty guru. I don't fit in with like DIY. And so like I have to kind of carve my own path, which makes it really hard to be found in search, except when I was doing what I ate in a day videos. I feel like I should just call them all what I ate in a day videos now, and not actually eat anything. But I'm not going to do that because it's clickbait. Oh, excuse me. I ate Taco Bell earlier, and now it's coming back. Anyway. So I try and come up with my own ideas. Sometimes I will look through other people's channels that I like and be like, hey, that's a really cool idea. Let me see if I can make that my own. You know, nothing is really brand new on YouTube ever. It's always recycled, so. Okay, and there is 3 more questions. Okay, so these 2 are both from the same person. I'm sick and tired of guys only being into me for my weight. How can I deal with this? I have no idea. I don't date people. The thing is like, you almost need to never message the people who immediately mention your weight. If you're dating online, you have to make it very clear that you won't be a fetish. You will not fulfill a fetish for them. I mean, unless you want to, like, I don't know, start an OnlyFans or something and, like, really capitalize on it, like, you can. But if you are really against someone being only there because of how much you weigh, I would say, actively counteract that, you know? Obviously, like, post full body photos on your dating profiles, things like that, but have sort of like a red flags list, either in the back of your mind or actually on your phone, that's like, okay, if they mention how much they love big girls in the first 10 minutes of conversation or on the first day we're chatting, that's out. I'm just like unmatching them. Too bad, so sad, they're gone, right? Anything else is sort of like, it's like, oh, I just want to feed you, you know, when they start talking like that, you'd be like, nope, out, gone, I'm out of here. That's, you know, really all you can do is just be proactive and just not even give them the time of day if they're mentioning your weight right off the bat. That's all. And later on, if they do start mentioning your weight and it seems sort of like fetishy and it's like you're really not into it, you don't have to keep seeing them. Leave them. Break up with them. Don't date them. Ghost them if you have to, you know, even though ghosting is really bad. You know what? If it's the only way to get rid of them and you're feeling very uncomfortable, maybe unsafe, then ghost them if you have to. Alright, this person also asked, being treated unfairly in the workplace for my weight, any advice? Well, depending on where you're located, and the fact that this is in English, I'm going to assume you are either in Canada or the US or literally any other English-speaking country. There's probably no laws that prevent this. I'm pretty sure France is the only country in the whole world that has anti-discrimination laws against your size. And it's under the same classification as race, religion, disability, etc. So, yeah, that would be really nice if that was in place and they couldn't do that. But this one's hard because if you take it to HR, HR is not really there for you. HR is there to protect the business and not necessarily you. So you have to, it's almost like you need to speak up in a non-snarky way, and just say, like, really make it obvious that you know what they're doing and kind of shame them into not doing it anymore, because and like you have to kind of do it a little subtly and not so obviously. I've never been in a position where someone's openly discriminating against me for my weight when, like, I've had a job, or like I worked for them, but I've had places where, like, they just refer to me by dear because I look much younger because of the fat face, and, you know, they treated me like I didn't know anything. And so that's hard, but, like, that's kind of the very least of your worries. If you are being passed over for promotions that you're eligible for and that you're qualified for and you applied for and you were the best candidate just because you are fat, that's when it becomes a problem. And then that's when it is maybe time to find a new job if you can, which is really hard, but do it on the down low and find a place where they will love you for you. All right, last question, and this one's going to be a long video. Okay, love your vid, sis. I was wondering if you ever struggle with being confident as a plus size woman. I don't know. I look at my body very neutrally, like, this is the body I live in, and I don't look in a mirror and be like, yeah, I'm hot shit today. I just know, like, I put clothes on my body every day. I show up, I do the things, I do what I want to do. Where I lose confidence is, like, am I qualified for this? Do I have any right to be talking about this subject? Even though I know a whole lot, and it's more the qualification side of my expertise on certain subjects that I feel not qualified to talk on sometimes, Or whenever someone's like, oh, you know, Danielle's the expert in whatever, talk to her. I'm like, okay, sure, like, yeah, okay, I can do that. And I feel like I don't deserve to be there for that sort of thing. I never feel like I shouldn't exist in the world because of my body. What gets me frustrated is when businesses aren't open about their, they don't want to be accommodating to someone who is fat, and they are not open about like, okay, you know, all of our spa rooms are itty bitty and our tables don't have a weight capacity for you that will accept your body, and you have to, like, that's when I sort of lose my confidence, is when I have to go out and advocate for myself in a way that feels very new and makes me uncomfortable. But after I'm done, if I find a new favorite place I get to go, or I find, you know, they're very accommodating, then I'm way more confident, and I'm like, yes, okay, good, this is, if I have a good experience. And, you know, I also find it helps to speak these things, like, whenever I'm feeling not so great about something, I talk about it. And I talk about it openly, like on my Instagram, or whether through a post or through a video or something like that. And when I know that other people are also feeling the same way, it makes me feel less alone. And when I feel less alone, then I feel more confident to go about my life. Yeah, okay. That was the final question. Thank you all so much for submitting those. If you ever want to be part of this again, follow me on Instagram. It's just @ Danielle McAllister. And thanks so much for hanging out with me on this Saturday night. I'm not sure if you can tell, I have a bit of a sinus cold. It's literally all right here, and it's making my eyes burn and making me all like stuffed up. I promise I don't have COVID. It's literally just all of my sinuses, and it's all just from going in and out of air conditioning. I get this every year, so that's fun. Anyway, hopefully I won't sound like Fran Drescher. I know I don't, but like, I feel that's what I feel like next week, and I will see you guys then. Bye!